Hello, today we will discuss a topic that I find very interesting myself. Feel free to jump down this rabbit hole with me. Today we're discussing the meaning behind Ding Liren's name. So what is the meaning behind Ding Liren's name? In English, most names do not have an immediate or apparent meaning. But in Chinese, almost every single name has both a literal and also perhaps a deeper literary significance. And today we will discuss the philosophical import behind Ding's name. So on the surface level, there are two parts to the name. Ding, which is the surname or family name. And this is what his father's last name was, his grandfather's last name was, and so on and so forth. And in modern day China, most women do not change their last name when getting married. Actually, probably all women. But their children also generally do not take their name. And that is why traditionally families value sons, because sons carry forth the family lineage and name, tradition, and values. So Liren is his first name, which is why when everybody called Ding by Ding, they were actually calling him by the last name. But why is Ding first in a Chinese name? That's because in Chinese, the surname goes first, which is another way to show that the family and society is more important than the individual, if I were to interpret this in a larger sense. So now let's examine the name. Li means to stand. 站立,挺立,立住 is to stand upright, is to put an object upright, okay? Or to establish. 建立,创立,立业. You can also establish someone as a ruler, which is 立王,立后. 人 means human or person. So together, 立人 means to establish or stand as a person. What does this mean? The first thing I thought of when hearing Ding's name is the Confucian phrase 三十而立. So Confucius once prescribed a series of qualities that he thought that he idealized one should have by a certain age in one's life, markers of success, if you will. By 30, he said that one should stand, to have established himself, to have a secure footing in society. However, do not think this means to simply be financially secure, to have a stable job, a few kids, and pay your taxes. So anyone who knows Confucius knows his, above all, emphasis on one's moral education and cultivation. And so we come to the all-important question. On what does a man establish himself? 立人之道,曰仁与义. The way to establish oneself is through virtue, 仁 and 义, through moral principles. Traditionally in Confucian thought, there are 5 pillars of morality. 仁, 义, 礼, 智, 信. Let's go over each in turn. 仁 is the first and principal pillar of Confucian thought, the backbone. 仁 means compassion, kindness, benevolence, humaneness, the humanity in all of us. And you will notice that sounds exactly like the Ren and Liren's name, except one means human and the other compassion. But as Mencius, Confucius's successor, put it, compassion is the defining characteristic that separates man from beast. So in this case, Ren and Ren are almost equivalent. Yi is harder to define. It's almost like a code of conduct, a bro code, or a code of honor, if you will. 江湖义气. In ancient times, a lot of great men acted according to Yi, which I may loosely translate as loyalty, virtue, integrity, doing the right thing, honor, righteousness. As to what those things are, it's like sacrificing your life for the right cause, defending your friend from injustices, paying back someone who has shown you kindness, treating your elders with respect, taking care of someone because it's the right thing, valuing your word of honor. And as Mencius said, 生亦我所欲也,义亦我所欲也,二者不可得兼,舍生而取义也. Life is something that I want. Yi is also something that I want. And if I cannot have both, then I will sacrifice my life and obtain Yi. I will forgo my life and preserve my virtue. This is how virtuous these men were. Third is Li. Li refers to rites, rituals, manners, decorum, rules of propriety. And again, they serve to show the moral education as self-restraint, self-discipline, and respect for moral conduct that the person practicing them has. 不知礼,无以立也. meaning if one does not know the rights, then you have nothing upon which to establish yourself. You stand upon a foundation of education, of conscience, of self-cultivation. Fourth is 智, meaning wisdom, erudition, and knowledge. However, this is not book knowledge. It's not about your IQ. Again, it is your dedication to self-knowledge and the knowledge of others, the development of your conscience, and being able to discern right from wrong. That is wisdom. And lastly, 信, which is trust, honor, integrity, honesty. Saying something and meaning it, your trustworthiness and honesty as a human being. Famously in the Three Kingdoms period of warring divided China, the warlord most known for his benevolence and virtue, Liu Bei, said, 自古皆有死，人无信不立. He said, since time immemorial, we all face death, but without integrity and trustworthiness, without 信, we do not stand as humans. And that the great men and sages were all willing to face death and still keep their honor intact shows you how integral it was and is to have virtue. And so we have answered a question. A man stands upright, establishes himself upon having a strong moral character, based on compassion, kindness, integrity, virtue, wisdom, respect, and trust. And it is no wonder that people can sense that quiet dignity, the gentle kindness, and genuine honesty of丁立人. It is written in his name. So we have talked at length about what it takes to stand upright as a human being, how one should conduct oneself in the world. The second part of this equation is how to treat others. In Confucian thought, 夫仁者, 己欲立而立人, 己欲达而达人. So here you have Liren, which is丁立人's name, 己欲立而立人. Confucius said, he who is benevolent, when he wants to establish himself, he establishes others. When he wants to achieve, he achieves for others. When reading this again last night, I was struck by how profound this statement is. I was doing a lot of self-reflection. It contains the wisdom for attaining true love, right? Because I've said this, like people oftentimes want love by extracting, by asking from the other person, by wanting things. But how do we actually love? It is standing from the perspective of the other person and doing for them not only what you wish was done for you, but also what they wish to be done, to generously and altruistically fulfill the wishes of others. And so in this sense, Liren means to not only stand and establish oneself, but also to use one's gifts to further humanity as a whole, to give to others and help others succeed, help others actualize their dreams. And now, okay, we got the main parts of the name down, but to add a fun fact, add some sprinkles. In Chinese, a prefix that has to do with humans and human behavior happens to be called a 单立人. Okay, a 单立人. So literally a single standing man, which is what it looks like. And it's a part of characters such as 伟, which means great, 传, spread, 佩, admiration, 佛, Buddha, 正, war, 仇, hatred, and the 仁, compassion, which we already talked about. And Ding's last name, Ding, also happens to mean man. So together his name actually has two men in it. It has Ding and it has 仁. And so it's a very humanistic, human-centric name. Overall, Ding Liren's name gives me the impression of one who's very independent, quite solitary, and with a strong moral character, someone who is able to stand upright between the heavens and earth, and someone in possession of himself, who in acting in alignment with principles and morality is able to fulfill both himself and others around him, to be able to actualize himself and others. And okay, we talked a lot about the Confucian side of things, but to wrap this up, I want to briefly touch on Daoist philosophy as well, because I live for that. Okay. In my mind, Ding exemplifies something very centric to Chinese philosophy, which is 外柔内刚. It means soft on the outside and hard on the inside. And we felt this in the World Championship match. It was almost like Ding was hiding his true strength. Everyone was shocked. They were like, oh, I didn't know you had this in you. You seem so like, right? Everyone thought it was weakness or something or other, but no. His true strength is inside, and he doesn't need to flash it outward. Compare this to Western culture, which is very much 锋芒毕露. which is completely revealing one's weapons, how sharp they are, how pointy they are, how flashy my strengths and talents are. It's all about exposing oneself. And people brag, they talk, people show off, they tout their strengths. Hello, this is me. Boom, boom, boom. This is my curriculum vitae, baby. Okay? In Chinese philosophy, people hide that because there's no need. In Daoist philosophy, there's a famous story about Lao Tzu talking with his mentor, his own teacher. There's a parable about the teeth and the tongue. 齿亡舌存. When we get older, our teeth fall out and decay, but our tongue remains. Why? And so Lao Tzu answers that the hard and brittle die, but the soft and gentle survive. Thus is the way of life of self-preservation. It's not just about hiding our strength. It's knowing that true strength lies in the weakness, lies in the softness, lies in the gentleness, and the kindness, and the yin as much as, or even more so, than the yang. Which is why I always effing super respect people who have genuine true kindness. We went into a very in-depth analysis today, although it's very not comprehensive and possibly flawed, so I welcome your thoughts and your corrections. These are just my thoughts. I'm just someone who likes to share ideas and to give perhaps some advice to people who, especially those who are younger who are watching, but pretty much to anybody. If you are feeling lost in life, if you don't have a sense of direction, if you don't know, if you're frequently in doubt, then do pick up a book of philosophy. And I highly recommend Chinese philosophy. It changed my life. All of these great sages, Confucius, Mencius, Lao Tzu, Zhuangzi, have changed my life. They have changed how I think. They gave me wisdom, if I may call it that I draw upon. Because why, when we have a huge source of ancestral wisdom transmitted through thousands of years, when we can tap into that source and knowledge and enlightenment of the universe, why not? It gives us so much more power. As Confucius said, 仁者不优 智者不惑 勇者不惧. And I almost want to tattoo that, because those who are compassionate do not worry. Those who are wise do not doubt. Those who are brave do not fear. And when you have a set of values and wisdom upon which to judge things, upon which you know what is right from wrong, you know how to make decisions, when you have your own moral compass, when you know which way to go in life, then you can establish yourself, then you can stand upright as a human being, and then you can know that you're always going the right way. Even if the external circumstances do not seem great, but internally you know you have done what you can to cultivate yourself. And very much so, it's an inside out kind of process, inside out process to cure the world. Confucian philosophy.修身齐家治国平天下. It starts from yourself and then you expand outwards. And there's a lot. Anyway, we could keep going, but I'm very passionate about this topic. As you can see, I just want to share some of my own thoughts on Chinese philosophy, some parts of my cultural roots with you, and I hope we can spark some discussion or insight or reflection. Thank you very much. This is Belisa. I appreciate you, and have a great day. Bye.